Welcome back.
Hi, everybody. Good evening.
This is GRWC, Rekindling the
Rekindling the
Fire
Fire Marriage.
Marriage Ministry. Oh, yes. Welcome back. I'm your host, Pastor Lamar Jones, and this is,
Uh, Minister Jessica Jones.
yes, and tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about a little bit of love. When was the last time first of all, when did you first fall in love with me?
Must start first.
I know, go ahead, go ahead.
Let's just start.
Well, what I do remember, what I recollect, is that when we met on that website, uh, uh,
BlackPeople.com.
and wow, I was prayed about someone to come in my life, and I wanted it to happen. And he came in, he was like like no picture, no nothing. I was like, okay, I need to see a picture because I got you before. So I did get you, you know, how the internet was, you know, people scamming and thinking one thing, and the next thing you know, they ask you for some money.
But then I could have showed you a picture, but it could have been a picture of somebody else. So what difference could that have made?
Well, the proof was in the pudding. We start communicating, we start engaging, and then we just started talking all night. And then next thing you know, we started dating. Yes, you did ask me out. Let's put it out there, a disclaimer out there. You did ask me out, but I was in that unsure, wanted to be sure, because she was at the time, she was in my hometown, Baltimore, but I was in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So slowly but surely, we start talking, and
But then the thing about your profile says you was in Baltimore, but really you was in Lancaster, but it still worked out.
Yeah, we got together, we started talking, and you know, one thing led to another. We started just getting more comfortable with each other, and I just knew from then that I fell in love with you. What about you?
Oh, really? So you fell in love with me before, actually?
Not before, but it was.
Okay.
It took a little time.
Like a progress.
Yeah, it took a little progress. Okay. I think it was about the third month. But I actually, brought that ring out. What about you?
For me, I think back. I think it was when we stayed up until 5 o'clock, like in the morning talking.
Let's get juicy.
What happened was, if I remember correctly, we were supposed to talk, and then you forgot to call me because you were busy doing something with your dad or something like that. So eventually we started talking, and we didn't end the conversation until 5 o'clock that morning. So that was in the process. Not just for me, it was getting stronger then because we talked that long to 5 o'clock in the morning. Then I had to drive back. I missed your mother because I'm visiting like my mom at the time because she lived in Jersey.
Right. And I understand because, you know, love don't start the same way from everybody, but let me know in your comments, how did y'all fall in love? Let us know in the comment section.
And then I think for me, it was also that conversation we talked to 5, and then I told you like it's about me having like a hearing loss. I wasn't sure how you were gonna take that.
Yeah.
So I'm different in some ways, you know, like I wear like a hearing aid and something I might not hear well, so I wasn't sure how you were gonna take that. So I told you right off bat when we were talking to and you was pretty cool with it. So I'm like, okay, so I guess we can go a step further, you know.
Yes.
So I think that's when it started for me.
And
it grew stronger like over time.
Yeah. And tonight's scripture is the same for last time. And it said love is patient. Love is kind. Oh, come on. We gotta put a pin in it. Love is kind. This kind of love doesn't come overnight. And we just want to talk on tonight. We're going to talk about some tips, some things that we both have done, and also that continue to do just to keep a strong marriage and our love. First up,
affection and intimacy.
So that's physical touch, expression of endearment, and maintaining a close emotional bond. So I touch her all the time. I don't even, she wash dishes, I'm touching her. She cooking, I'm touching. She can be getting something out the refrigerator, I'm touching. So it is important. It's just to know that person, that you love them that much. They don't have to be always getting into the bed. It could be just be little soft gestures. Do you do that?
Well, that was something I was thinking about. Like sometimes couples mix up the word intimacy and just think that means sex, and it doesn't mean sex. It means you're affectionate. It can mean how you talk to your spouse as well. Like sometimes a lot of times I like to flirt with them. So my talk
nasty.
My talk is flirty with him. So that's my way of showing intimacy in addition to touching. I like to talk.
And I don't talk too much. I'm a shower. Doesn't mean I'm not doing the same thing. Well, for guys, that might be our language. Her language is talking. We're like, okay, just get over here. Now here we go. Gift section.
Communication.
All right. Open and honest dialogue. Actively listening to each other's needs and perspectives. I think I'm honest to a fault. Like too honest. Like I'll straight to the point honest. And she'd be like, hey, you can't just make it a little softer than that. I just like to be honest, so there's be no sugarcoating it, and there's no other way to interpret it. Listening, you could be talking, and I need to learn just to be quiet. Sometimes in listening, it's just knowing how to be quiet, because in communication we know how to push each other buttons. We know what to say or not to say, but it's more of like, because we said it before, like how your upbringing and my upbringing, it's like it's totally different. So our perspective and my perspective is just totally different. Baltimore, Philly. So there's always something different about what each other's understanding. Anything?
And I think that also grows like over time too.
Yeah.
It also depends on like it's your previous other relationships.
Yeah.
Some people might have been married before.
Mm-hmm.
So in my opinion, I believe that takes time to really master.
Yeah.
It takes time, it takes growth. That's why it's important to have that best, like this a friend with your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
It will be easier to talk.
Yes.
If you don't like each other, you're not best friends with that person, I bet you it's going to be a challenge to talk to that person. And it's important that we try to increase and try to master this, because sometimes we have a tendency of talking with our friends. We have a tendency of talking with our family members who we're close with, So we have to be careful not to share with others, but talk directly, with your spouse. Or, if you both can't come together and talk, again, seek like spiritual counseling, like through your pastor, like your overseer, your bishop, your apostle, like whoever like that may be, to help you to find that a common ground, to help you to start to talk.
In that communication part, there's so many levels. One of those are, trust and reliability. So that's like feeling secure in the relationship, knowing your partner will be there for you. Sometimes you will share something that was detrimental to yourself, and even to her, she had shared some things with me, and sometimes that bridge the gap of what's going on in our conversation, how she responds, how I respond, and she has to trust that I wouldn't share that information anywhere. She got to trust that that what she has shared with me is right here, and then also that I'm carrying that responsibility of of her feelings.
Yeah, I think we have to be willing to be vulnerable
Mm-hmm.
with our spouses, and that can be hard to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes, sometimes we have to peel like an onion.
In layers.
Yeah, with each other.
Yeah. Over the years, it's been what?
Yeah.
We almost in 15 years, and there's some layers that we're gonna keep peeling. So, just because your mate didn't tell you everything on on the plate, let it. It's gonna come. It's gonna come over time. You're gonna understand her more. She's gonna understand me a little bit more. But that's the beauty of being married.
Yeah. And that's one of the things I like to be have our pillow talks.
Yes.
I like our pillow talks. Like when they. Like when the kids into the bed, it's just
the one eye, that one eye looking, that one eye. Yeah, baby.
We had that pillow talk. Sometimes we put a little soft music on in the background, and we just have our moment. We just talk about whatever just comes to mind. And I think that everybody needs that time.
Yeah, and even when you're just sitting there, just want to just sit there.
Mm-hmm.
That's also a moment in itself.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. How about our next one?
Respect.
Valuing each other's opinions individually and boundaries. Okay. What about that?
Opinion. So we all think differently. I don't think the way he thinks. Think the way that I think, so sometimes we have to come to that I like this common ground.
Yeah.
Like with each other, to try to compromise.
Yeah.
Is the word. Because we're two different people.
Strong-minded.
Together as one. And he's a very strong-minded person.
And we're loners.
Yeah.
I mean, not saying that I have other siblings, but I grew apart, and it's her as the same. So, there's some boundaries. I remember, when I was younger, my brother would be like, can I go? And I'm like, I just want to be to myself because we grew apart, and it was just like I didn't see his perspective, right. And he didn't see mine.
Right. And then individuality. That's also important because we both like to have our own space sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes he'll be in one room, I'll be in another room, and then we'll come back together. And we both have to respect that. Sometimes we need our just a long time, or sometimes he likes to buy his bike, like his pride and joy, like his motorcycle.
That's a little bit about joy.
That's his second wife, his motorcycle.
I never cheated, y'all. Don't believe that. I have never cheated in my life.
He loves that motorcycle. That's his pride and joy. Sometimes we just need that time, and I have to give him that time. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all have our hobbies that we enjoy doing.
But those boundaries, when you talk about boundaries, it was like even today, I was like, what's going on? And you was just quiet, and I was like, you all right? He said, yeah. And I was like, I just understood and just, let her give a moment. And then later on, we just come together and just talk about if it's something to talk about, and then let her be who she is, and she'll let me be who I am. And that's, again, when we start growing in the years of being married, paying attention to each other. And also, that's the respect. Oh.
Shared values and goals.
So aligning is on important life priorities and working together to achieve them. Before we even bought our house, we both wanted to own a home or whatever, and so we had to align now on our finances. What we had to do just to get our credit score together. So it was so many levels to just try to make sure that we was on one page. So because the goal was to get a house, and the goal was to find, where we want to be at. Layla's growing up and all that. So we had to align not only our our goals for this house, but also in our marriage. Talk about what you want to do just a few years from now. When I met my wife, she had her first master's. Now, her goal was to go to a second master's, and I supported that. Not only supported, and then, you're doing your tests, and, some she didn't pass, but I didn't let that deter her at all. You can do this, no matter what.
But the house goal wasn't it's at first my main goal. I was comfortable with like renting. I like the thing about not having the responsibility to fix something when it breaks. I like the convenience of contacting the landlord and they fixed it or bring a new refrigerator or whatever. I like that kind of thing. But then over time, I learned the importance of being a homeowner and the equity and making it your own. So then we got on the same page with the shared values of coming together to purchase a home.
Right. Instead of spending all our money on something that we don't even own,
Right.
we can't do nothing. You gotta ask somebody put a nail in the wall, or you gotta fix it.
Right.
Now my grandmother, God rest her soul, she said, God bless the child that has his own. So not only that we work together in that facet, but in the love department as well, that showed some things, outside of me and inside of her, that we can pull together when we want to. And that's how that's one little version. Tell me y'all version of how y'all shared goals and values on things like raising up our child and things like that. It's always something that y'all can come together or disagree on, but as time go on, y'all get it together.
A commitment.
Choosing to stay together through challenges and working to resolve conflicts. Whoa. Yeah, I remember I had a lot of health scares. Dealing with being on dialysis, and it did something, not only to me as a man, but also to the relationship. How we had to make my wife more responsible. I had to be humble. It showed me also different ways, but through it all, us committing that we want to do this.
But for me, when she mentioned that, it made me think back to when I was younger, like a child. I used to help my grandmothers all the time, and I guess I always been like a caring person, like a caretaker type person. I remember that from way back when, and then when you got sick, it just automatically like clicked in. To take that caretaker role, But not saying it was easy. It was challenging. We had like many date nights in the hospital. I would be in his bed, he'd be in the chair. So this must be the new patient.
Yeah, I'm like, give it a board and everything. Yes, give me that needle. I do not need another needle. But also learning how to resolve conflicts. There's some issue where y'all can be screaming, y'all can be yelling. I mean, it gets there. Be real. Those moments do happen, but we have learn how to be even minded about certain things.
And then again, but all in all, to put it all together, I don't think we would have probably made it this far without prayer. Without God sending certain people into our lives like leaders. We've always been blessed with like strong leaders. Like just since we even been dating, we can honestly say that since we've been dating until now, we had strong leaders that helped us to get through the journey, the process. We couldn't have done it
because you could be right, thinking you're right, and then you had someone just, especially my pastor, to mediate. Wait a minute, what about this way? And you're like, but you're still mad though. But you're just learning how to navigate your feelings, how to articulate it, and learn to what we did before, listen. what she is saying and what you're saying to try to really resolve it in a calmly and peaceful way. One of those things is sitting down. Standing up and y'all going back and forth, that is a posture. If anyone knows, that's a posture, and especially for a man, getting in a man's face, and it's like y'all going combative back and forth. It's more like a threat rather than it just being y'all just talking. But sit down and talk to each other. And do it calmly. You ain't gotta be shouting. This ain't no freestyle.
It also helps us to take a break, like at least from each other.
Yeah.
Separate from a man, go into another room, or take a walk or something, and then come back calmly and sit down and
yeah. Because she knows how to push my buttons, and I know how to do that. And then it's like, wait a minute, we gotta do this over. I'll be right back. We just literally just walk. Not just walk away, but we eventually come back to talk about it, because you don't want that to go the next day, the next day, the next day. So our commitment to each other is to love each other no matter what. That what comes up, learning how to talk about it, learning how to talk to each other, calmly at least, or civil. Another thing that helps our marriages is
a support and like encouragement.
So being there for your partner through thick and thin, celebrating their success. Wow. I was happy with you when you got your master's. I was happy when we actually eventually moved into Philly. So that was a trip by itself.
Yes,
But being for your partner, that through thick and thin, man, to be honest, you all I got. I feel like if chips are down, you all I got, and I think you feel the same way, vice versa. Learning how to fight together, learn how to be together, and no matter what it is, even if you don't like it or support, like it can be something as simple as the television. You know what I mean? Just turn on the gas. I know she like L&M and BET. I don't like to watch all the time, but she could be at the TV and I'll be like, I was like, leave me alone. I'll be like, but I'll go in there and watch it with her, and vice versa. I like some of the law shows and medical shows, documentaries and stuff like that. And she'd be like, you watching that again, Grey's Anatomy, all this. She'll sit there and watch it with me. So it's just being there is also that type of support, You gotta love that in marriages, that no matter what, the chips down, my dog's with me, I'm over her. Anything else?
About celebrating their success, that's important too. Because especially in church just comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
A ministry comes to mind. So he's the pastor, like I'm like a minister. So we have two different roles. So it's not like one should get like jealous like over the other. We have to encourage each other during our process, because it's not always easy.
No.
Doing church things, ministries,
and
people,
and being married,
peaches and cream, and then you got to deal with marriage. You got to deal with the illnesses. And you still got to go into church, with a smile on your face, and do what you got to do.
Yeah, so, even that sometimes through the preaching and all. Some of y'all have some kids, and y'all be like, y'all trying to keep the peace and keep the civil, trying to support each other, and then try to keep that same straight face. And just not to show those types of emotions. We have to show that, because what you're showing in your marriage also eventually goes into your kids. They're learning from you what a relationship is, what a husband is, what a wife is. So we are our first partakers, kind of. We only got one daughter, and we ain't got to worry about the dog, but we ain't got to worry about the dog. But our daughter, she's 11 going on 12, so she sees everything. Support and what a man supposed, how to support his wife, and how she's supposed to support her husband. I remember we were just talking about trust and no, I'm talking about respect. Men value respect a whole lot, especially trying to be of the household. Women, intimacy and affection. Want to know that you love her and only her. Nothing comes before her. Well, other than God, but nothing comes before you. So all those things these are just tips, just to think about how we have to communicate, how trust and reliability is just so important. And I just hope that you take that into heart, because then our next section is
adaptability and growth.
Willingness to evolve and learn together as a couple. You ever seen some old folks, they stuck in their way, won't do it, they ain't doing it, they ain't going to do it. But, y'all got also learn to grow. Love does not stay stagnant. Love does not stay stagnant. It always should be growing. It always should be morphing. It said love is patient. It said love is kind. So those different things are just parts of loving each other.
So we have to evolve and grow. So because we're not the same people that we were when we were
in our 30s.
No, we're not 20. We're not the same people. We both our interests have changed.
Yeah.
Likes and dislikes have changed, so we have to continue to learn with each other at the time. But things change.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now I'm in my 40s.
Yeah, I'm about to go through the change of life soon, for this menopause thing, so I'm not sure how that's going to go.
I think my BG&E gonna go up or something. I'm hot, she cocoa, I'm hot. No, we just gonna be going through some changes, So and for those that are already going through it, y'all already know. So we ain't got there to that point, but we all gonna do. But we're gonna take these tips to heart, because you're gonna need them.
Yeah.
But it's always a pleasure to be in with y'all and y'all being with us. Please visit our YouTube and just subscribe. Tell somebody about us. You can also email us as well. It's at the Couples Channel 5812. And if you want to email us, it's the Couples Channel 5812@gmail.com. Anything else?
No, just continue to talk about with your spouse about these topics, and then again, remember, all this takes time. We've been almost 15 years and we haven't gotten
it ain't mastered yet.
Learning.
Ain't even get our degree yet. Nope.
Yeah, so take it as a process, and just keep going.
A little at a time.
All right.
Yep. But I thank you for sharing with us, and we love y'all. And share with someone, like the page, subscribe, and we'll see you again next Sunday at Couples Channel.
God bless you. Take care.
God bless.